Hello, this is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I just had to dig this out. This is the next issue in the Fantastic Four. So this is Fantastic Four 188. Uh, I just had to look at this again after all the memories that dredged up. So this is the second part. Reed Richards is the Molecule Man. If you saw yesterday's video, and he animates this building, and here's the art. It's George Perez and Joe Sinnott. So Joe Sinnott is the inker for this particular cover. 35 cents. Was yesterday's 30 cents? Did it go up 5 cents in 1 month? 1977. The Rampage of Reed Richards. This is the actual comic that I have. You can see how beat up it is. I usually take good care of my comics, but sometimes they get beat up. Here's some pizzazz. Listen, gang, if you dig dynamite or go bonkers over bananas, here's some real knockout news for another great kids mag. Pizzazz, one of the unmitigated goodness of our happy little hearts. Yeah, so Pizzazz was I don't know, just a Marvel magazine for kids. It didn't sell too well. I already told you that funny story. So Lin Wynn is or Lin Wine rather, George Perez and Joe Sinnott rather, Glennis Wynn and Artie Rosen. This I didn't talk about, but this was just like a little box that explained the origins, and this was big in the 70s, maybe early 80s, but it just kind of brought you up to speed, told you that their origin in a simple paragraph. Here we go, 1977. Dear me, what is going on? We've beaten Claw, but the Molecule Man has taken control of Reed's body. You know, this is a perfect splash page. It's bringing you up to speed. They always believe that every issue is somebody's first issue, and even if you were familiar with the Fantastic Four, that doesn't necessarily mean you got the issue before this. Remember, if you missed an issue, it was hard to get back issues back then. You know, if you were fortunate enough to live near a hobby store or something like that. But this was 1977. That kind of stuff wasn't commonplace. There was no internet to just buy everything. So here he is. Reed Richards grabbed the wand, turned into the Molecule Man, or rather, the Molecule Man took him over. Look at this little dog here. Drives me crazy. Doesn't want to. There we go. Nope. Oh well, I'll deal with it later. So he's bragging that he has Reed Richards, and then here's Reed fighting back. You know, he ain't the hobo that took over the body last issue. This is Reed Richards, so he has some measure of control, and you can see his psychic image is taken over in the wand quickly while the Molecule Man is distracted. I don't think they know that he just seems to be, distracted. I don't know if they hear Reed in their mind. It was not clear. So he throws a rock and He throws some debris and destroys the psi amplifier. And George Perez said, whenever anything breaks, draws much debris for 10 items. It just makes it that much more dramatic. So look at that. Kirby Crackle over here. He's all despondent. Because although you may have won the battle, you haven't won the war. Oh my, I don't think he's happy. Now, his motivation, the Impossible Man's motivation is he's bored. He was bored on his planet. So he left to explore, and he found the Fantastic Four, and he's just been tailgating them on and off for years because he finds them to be exciting. And this is cool. He points his wand, and he just makes a cube of adamantium. And now, if you are anywhere familiar, you know that Wolverine's claws are made of adamantium. It's the strongest metal in the Marvel Universe, and it's based in Greek mythology. There was adamantite. I think Hades had an adamantite club, and was it adamantine or adamantite? And Kronos' sickle was made of adamantite. It just basically means unmovable. So here he is. He just makes a flashlight because again he can do whatever he wants. When the thing is bashing to no avail. Do you know what you can make? You think you can make a force field heat resistant? I'll do my best, Johnny. And look at that. He's great. Then I can start increasing my flame to nova intensity. Adamantium won't melt. But this is so cool. Just he's getting like the surface of a star hot, and he's just but by superheating the air, it can force it to expand. So the air pressure finally reaches and blasts the box. Which begs the question, why didn't they just smash through the ground? But it's still cool. So he heated up the air until the air pushed out the adamantium. Here's some cool ads, some super prizes. So now he's just so, stay away from me until I cool down. He's like, wow, that was the most fun yet. He just has no regard for the consequences. He's just a goofy space impulsive traveler. And no doubt, look at we'll need a whole new roof. Sheesh. And let me know when you can flame on. You know, the Molecule Man took off. We got to do, and then you. That's the Watcher. Oh dear, the Watcher. He only shows up when desperate crisis. Oh dear, that sounds unpleasant. What does this say? Faithful followers of Marvel, Bonanza length, blockbuster, What If, already know. Yeah, so he's the star of What If. He's like the Rod Sterling of the What If from the Twilight Zone. He narrates the stories. So his shtick is he shows up and he just watches. And again, I didn't know who this was when I was a kid. Yeah, he looks like he's no fun at all for once these two are in agreement. And he just stands there and watches. But just when he shows up, just by being there, he lets the Fantastic Four know that this is dire. So they take it super seriously. So he's the classic, what is that, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, the just observing the experiment influences the experiment. He personifies that. Let me know if I made the correct analogy. So he's just staring. He doesn't even shake his head, doesn't answer us, damn you, and they just give up. The Watchers people interfered in the culture of a primitive race and gave them advanced technology, and they proceeded to destroy themselves. So they took a vow to not interfere. So they just travel and observe things. You know, and he's just observing, looking a little sad. Free $1 million cash. Okay, so here's one of their flying cycles. I just love the contraption. Notice it has 3 seats because Johnny can fly. So this would be Reed's seat. Maybe there's another seat over there. Yeah, probably has 4. And then the Impossible Man turns into this rocket-powered thing. I'll prefer by pop-up propulsion. See, here he is, just blocking traffic, just making a nuisance of himself. I don't know what you are and why you're shouting. So he's yelling at himself. The Molecule Man persona is arguing with the Reed Richards consciousness. And Reed's like, I will defy you, I'll fight you. You know, Reed is a hero. And he uses his rod to control the molecules of that building. And tell me that's not cool. That is just the coolest thing. I love that the windows. There's people inside the building. There's smoke and fire coming out, from the boiler room in his belly. That is just so freaking cool. Dear Lord, that building, it's alive. There, Reed, you see what I'll do to the city if you don't surrender? So he's trying to get Reed to surrender his will. Attention, art lovers. Now you could be a connoisseur of culture just like me by stocking up on a comic art library with these. Oh, so these were posters. Frank Frazetta posters. Frazetta calendar. Yeah, this is all Frazetta. That's so cool. I just got a Frazetta art book. I should break that out. So they're flying around looking for trouble. She's checking in on Franklin. Agatha, remember Agatha Harkins is their baby. She's a witch. Very unfortunate looking. And here they are. They see this kaiju-sized animated building. Oh, it looks like, yikes, you're right. Look at that. As he takes a step, the momentum throws this poor guy out. Just smoke coming out. These people are terrified. The guy's falling. That's just great. That's right. Like I said in the last issue, comic books are a visual medium. Pardon me. Comic books are a visual medium, and the special effects budget is limited only by the imagination. He looks like he has indigestion there. Watcher ate some bad tacos. Poor guys, maybe fix that guy's hairline. But here they are, you know, panicking. Wouldn't you panic? And he just watches. And this thing is raising him. He's like, Molecule Man, all right, Molecule, you win. Put a stop to this madness. So he doesn't want to, Reed doesn't want this building monster to stomp on the innocent civilians. So he's like, all right, so I'll stop fighting you for a minute. But so he restores the building right in the middle of the street. Okay, hold it. If you're still in one piece when I'm done with you, Molly. Who? Fantastic Four. No, we found him again. But this time I'll transform. So he's, no, I won't let you hurt them. Blast it. She's setting up a mental block so he can't directly attack the Fantastic Four. I can't use my powers against your friends. But there's nothing to, so he turned the jet cycle into cables. Just wrapped around them. So here they were flying, the momentum keeps them going. And they're falling. He's like, and the stupid Impossible Man is like, oh my, this is exciting. I can't wait to see how they save themselves. And Torch is like, they can't save themselves. And there's no way I could get them below them in time. So he's like, oh, okay, pop. He turns into a slide. You know, like I said, you can do whatever the plot requires. And here is you're launching a full frontal assault. Why not? I know you can't use your powers against me. So he just pulls up water from the ground. And here's the Torch. Look the coloring mistakes. Just diving around, and he's just battling and screaming. Watcher watches. He scowls. And here they're coming off the slide. She turned on a force field and destroys the cables. Once he gets on the ground, and he's just like, yeah, wow, this is great. This is a lot of fun. Stand back, everybody. It's my turn. You know, like Howard the Duck. 6 titles. He's Carnival Barker selling subscriptions. I gotta get some Howard the Duck. Better comic than you would think. Political commentary. So like, wait a minute. He doesn't know that it's Reed. He's just gonna go and smash him. He's like, uh-oh. So here, Pop turns into Thor's hammer. He goes, my power doesn't. He goes, Reed's block won't protect you. So he's trying to directly, affect the Impossible Man, but the Impossible Man's immune to his powers. So here he goes, this is going to be fun, fun, fun. And boom, force field. What? The invisible force field? Because I don't understand. Why did you do that? Because you're going to get a buster killed. So I go to all the trouble to save your lives, and now you just want to get rid of me. So he goes, why don't you just go have your fun elsewhere? So fine. I know how to take a hint. I'm leaving. So he gets his feelings hurt and leaves. And the Watcher, look at that face. That's a mug. That's a mug. So he's back. What am I supposed to do now? Super bodybuilding. Ignore this person. Stupid's with me. I'm with stupid. So I always like this. He takes his power and he just like ripples up the street. And the thing has to, the Human Torch flies over. And then here he comes through his, barricade like that won't stop me, but this will. He turned the lamppost into solid asbestos. So in 60 years from now on, he'll die of mesothelioma. And it's funny because he had in the early 60s, he had a bad guy called the Asbestos Man. And in around 2010, they brought the Asbestos Man back on his deathbed in the hospital. Different times, showing you the result. So here she's using her force field kind of like the Iceman would use his. So she's riding her force field over this ripple in the street. Stay back, he can't fight him. So he's getting consumed. The Molecule Man's winning the fight. And this I always remember. She puts up her force field. And since it's not made of molecules, it's some sort of energy. He transforms the air around it into steel, and then he's constricting it. So Reed's fighting and fighting, and the thing just he didn't go over this obstruction. He went through it. Piece of rock smashes him. Holy cow! I clobbered Reed. Remember, they're not fighting to their best ability because they don't want to damage Reed. That's still Reed Richards. That's still their friend. So he got hit by a piece of concrete. He didn't mean to do that. So he's takes his hand and shoots fire and melts the steel. And we already established that in this particular issue anyway, that her force field could protect her from the heat. So he was like, Reed, are you okay? You okay? More ads. Strong arms. Get your filthy paws off me, gargoyle. Whoop. He's still the molecule man. And even thump, the very air between them goes to phosphorus. So he turned the air into phosphorus and blinded them all. He still apparently can't directly attack them. Takes like metal and he's flying away on the metal. He's controlling the molecules. And then he goes, you see that? Problem solved. Without Richard's influence to inhibit me, there's nothing to prevent me from transforming you all to cosmic dust. So Reed was defeated mentally. The molecule man was triumphant. And he goes to directly attack them. And the Watcher just watches. We're not dead. I don't understand it. Well, I do. Look. His energy goes back on him and attacks him. And a feedback loop fires out and short circuits. The wand goes down into a smokestack, and then Reed. He's falling. His Human Torch jumps up. And he is able to turn some of the fire off and grab. I just thought that hurt. He just yanked his arm. I'm losing my grip. The pain. I went too high. He's falling too high. I dropped him, so the thing catches him. Like, what's the difference between the thing catching him and hitting the ground? They're both made out of rock, right? Some great annuals. Legal Eagle. That's what the Vulture looks like in the comic, not Michael Keaton. So he's explaining what happened. What happened? He goes, well, he attacked you guys and tried to control, but the unstable molecules are in a constant state of flux. He didn't know anything about that, and the unstable molecules caused his energy to rebound. So there you go. I explained the unstable molecules in the last video. So there he is, the Watcher. What are you doing? You could have done something. You could have helped him. It's like, and then remember I said he was going through doubt. He's like, that's it. I'm resigning from the Fantastic Four. He has no powers. He's not Reed Richards. Well, he's still Reed Richards, but he's not Mr. Fantastic. Because you don't know what you're saying. Because I know precisely what I'm saying. Since I lost my stretching powers, I've become the pawn of two different super foes. I can't let you continue risking your lives because of me. And I can't keep on being the fifth wheel. He goes, come off it, Stretch, you're one of a kind. Not anymore. Now I'm a man just like any other. It's time I got used to it. She says, Reed, I've been dreading this. Lord, I've been dreading this. Reed's been so vulnerable. So who does he figure we could replace him? No one. And he's like, you know what? I think this is time. We're going to need two replacements. I'm going to leave. He always had an inferiority complex because here he is hanging out with the world's smartest man. Ben was an already accomplished pilot and war hero. And Sue ran her father's financial empire. And he was just a kid. So that he always felt a little inadequate. So he eventually goes back to college. So he's leaving Fantastic Four too, which is, I'll be damned, and I'll do it again. So you knew this was going to happen. So that's why the Watcher's still here. He wasn't there for the Molecule Man. He was there to witness the Fantastic Four breaking up. He goes, why couldn't he said one word? He could have changed everything. He goes, that would even have been beyond his power. And there he is, watching the only people that have come close to friends, and he makes like a sad face. Four no more. This was big in comic books. The team breaking up, Spider-Man quitting, Donald Blake giving up the hammer. It's just a good comic book trope. The secret of teaching yourself music. The secret spy away. Seat up to 7 miles away with secret spy scope. Oh, I already talked about this ad. So here you go. That's them. They defeat the Molecule Man because the Molecule Man didn't know about their unstable molecules, and the Fantastic Four breaks up. So here it goes. My first two issues of Fantastic Four. Reed's, a klutz who gets himself in trouble, and then the team breaks up. But it's just so good. I could talk about this. So this is a rare. I just wanted to finish up this story because I, to be honest, I just wanted to look through this comic again. But that's kind of what this whole channel is about. So I hope you liked it. I got a kick out of this. I won't do Fantastic Four tomorrow. I'll look for something else. my comic book room is finished. When I finish stacking all the boxes in there, I'll do a short little video about that. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Please subscribe. See you around. Bye-bye.